What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Oh, I'm kind of fading out there. Look at that. That's spooky looking. But guys, today we're gonna talk about like a really crazy thing that just happened like a couple days ago and just revealed on a YouTube channel, and that is cheating within the Pokemon community. Now, this is not happening a lot, but I do want to showcase this and talk about it a little bit. But let's watch the video. Now, this is actually provided by a YouTuber named Bullados. His name is Ryan. He's a really, really nice person. Does amazing stuff for the community. Records VGC and TCG. I'll leave a link down below to his YouTube channel. If you love watching real life games, this is definitely the channel for you. All he does is like pump like continuously, just pumps up so much stuff over and over again. I mean, right now he has. I mean, it's. Let's see. Right now, like every single day, he's had a TCG League Cup video coming out, and he does VGC as well. Really amazing person, and I'll leave a link down below. But somebody caught this during one of his videos. This is the Sun Moon League Cup for Coon Rapids, round number 3. And what we're going to do is watch the player on the right. So I'm going to click play right now. We're going to see nothing normal. It's just Mega Mewtwo versus a Mew Vespiquen deck. And here we see an Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball, he's going to discard the Psychic and Sycamore. And we're going to see him dig through his deck. And you're going to see here, you're going to see something very interesting. So he puts a Shrine of Memories and a DC on top of his deck. Now, first of all, this is nothing sketchy. Players do this a lot. The player on the left probably doesn't know what his opponent's doing, and that Ultra Ball could be grabbing anybody. Like, he could be like thinking like what Pokemon do you want to grab, or at least this is what his opponent might be thinking. You know, he might be grabbing, you know, what Pokemon is he getting? Maybe he's trying to decide. You know, there's a lot of options you want to do sometimes. And sometimes players put them on top of the deck, so they try to decide, you know, do I want to grab this Pokemon or this Pokemon? But that's not the case. That's the very first strange thing to point out, is that he grabs a Shrine of Memories and a DCE, which is very something you don't usually grab with an Ultra Ball. So we're gonna see him keep shuffling through his deck, and you're gonna see right here, and you're gonna see him put. Did you see that? Well, we'll watch it one more time. We'll rewind it just a little bit, and you're gonna notice he's gonna put a DC, a Shrine of Memories, in his hand. So you see that real quick. He's just gonna put it in his hand. His opponent did not notice. This was really, really fast. I mean, it wasn't too done, but it's like very obvious that he does this. Like, you're gonna see it one more time. And the key thing to note is, let's see, when he does it is right about here. So, so at this moment, he puts it in his hand, and you can see the opponent on the left right now is looking at his own deck. He's turning it. He's looking at this, and he's like, all right, let me adjust my deck quick. It's kind of bothering me. And at that moment, his opponent realized, like, oh, I can do this. And he took the chance right then and there to put those 2 cards on top of his deck. And that's what happened. We can see, you know, he's going to adjust his deck, and at that point, right about, I don't know, wait for it. You can see he's going to adjust his deck. See, as soon as he adjusts his deck, see, so this is like kind of, what I'm going to point out right now is, so first of all, the guy on the right, he is like one of the worst players you could have ever in a Pokemon game. His name is Scott Matson. Usually I don't call it people, but like this guy needs to be like taken care of. Like, that is like super cheating. It doesn't matter what card game you're in. That is like 100% cheating. There's no cards like in any game. And like the worst thing, what comes to find out, is that Scott, the player on the right, is actually borrowing this deck from the person on the left named Ezra. And so Scott took Ezra's deck and like is playing it for this League Cup, and like cheated against him. Like, that is what kind of like I don't even know like words. Like, there's so many words I want to say. But like, that's some of the meanest stuff you can do. Like, first of all, you're putting a DC in, and first of all, he's like grabbing the wrong stuff. I'll point that out here in a second. But like, he just grabbed 2 cards and put them in his hand. So Scott Masson, thank you for being a dirtbag. And we'll talk about him in a second. So we're gonna watch the rest of this, and you're gonna notice he's gonna then look through his deck, and he's gonna grab Mega Mewtwo, throw that down, and he's like, "Oh, there we go. There's my Pokemon." He's gonna like pretend like he's looking through his deck or his hand to see what he needed. And you're gonna see right now his opponent has a Klefki, and like you can tell when you watch this video and listen to the sound, you can see Scott doesn't know what he's really doing. And this is another sketchy thing here. We're gonna see him put the DC down. And a lot of people haven't talked about this. He's gonna put the Mewtwo down and set the dice there, and you see that he just scooted his Mewtwo really far away from the dice as well. This is another very sketchy thing people aren't pointing out. He's going to set his Mewtwo all the way to the side, moving the damage counters off, and he's not going to put the damage on their back. So what he did is he grabbed the Shrine of Memories, You know, he wants to use damage change. You can see right now he's asking about Klefki. You know, how does Klefki work? So you can tell Scott really hasn't played Pokemon before. He is, and you can see his opponent. His opponent put the 120 back, not Scott. Scott didn't put that 120 damage back, and I highly doubt he would have. Now this is like going way out there, but you see Scott right now. He's talking about damage change. You know, he's saying, "Can I do this? If I put down Shrine of Memories, and can I damage change?" He's saying, "No, Klefki, you know, whatever. It changes the damage, but it doesn't actually get on me or whatever." We're gonna see he's gonna go later on. He's going to Mega Turbo, and he attach a DC. Going to Sycamore, and he's going to announce damage change, and then realize he can't attack. So when he did it, he even grabbed the wrong card, which is really funny. But Scott does eventually win this match. But like, this is a key thing that we need to look into, guys. So let me rewind it real quick back. This is at the 6:30 mark. If you go to the Bulldoze video, you'll see this. A lot of people are talking about it now. So the first thing we need to talk about is, so the player on the left, you can see he's really fidgety, and I'm just going to tell you how you can print this. Like, this, rarely, this does never happen. Like, if you're new to TCG and you're worried about people cheating, this is very rare. I mean, last year we had one person who did cheat. He did receive a ban, and I imagine that Scott will receive a ban as well. Like, this is on video. Like, this is 100% cheating, and it's caught on me. Like, first of all, you're on video. What are you doing? But, like, so it's kind of like Ezra's fault as well. You're going to see Ezra, he's adjusting his prize cards. He's going to adjust his deck. He's going to adjust his deck again, and that's when it happens. See, if you're watching Ezra, you have no idea that Scott just did that. And we're going to see Ezra. You see Ezra right now? He is, like, so fidgety. He's not, you know, he's not paying attention to his opponent. And there's no fault to Ezra. This is something that I would advise any new player, is when it's not your turn, you just sit there and watch your opponent. You just sit there and see what they do. You pay attention to everything. You count your opponent's cards in their hand, because this is something I always do. Like, let's say your opponent plays Sycamore, and all of a sudden you see like 8 cards in your hand. Like, hold on. How do you do 8 cards? You need to question everything. Like, if Ezra would have realized that, because let's back it up a little bit. You're gonna see, you know, this is turn number 1, right? Or like, this is someone in the game. Like, he's Hoopa, he's done some stuff. I haven't really watched the video, but you can kind of tell how many cards are supposed to be his hand. So this is actually turn number 2, it seems like. So like, at this point, you should know how many cards in your opponent's hand. Your opponent hasn't played any supporter cards. They haven't really done anything besides looks like a Shaman to set up. Yeah, it looks like Scott all he did was like Hoopa, Scoundring. So you should know in mindset how many cards your opponent should have. Like, you should know they have this amount of cards. And when you're going forward in your plan, and you know this is still turn number 1 for Ezra. Now we're back into Scott's turn. You should know he should have this many cards. All right. So you're gonna go. He's gonna go Ultra Ball. He's gonna discard 2 cards, and you should still keep a mental mind of how many cards are in his hand. He's Ultra Ball. He's discard 2 cards. He's put another card in his hand. He should have this many cards. These are stuff you should always keep in mind to kind of watch your opponent. Because if you notice, before he plays Sycamore, he's going to have 2 additional cards in his hand. And you might be like, how'd you get those 2 additional cards? This is all rewindable stuff because your opponent hasn't played a supporter card yet. There's nothing that you know, you'd be like, all right, there's like 10 cards in your hand. How'd you get the extra 2 or whatever? This is another thing. So if you're new to the TCG, man, that's just really shady there right there. Like, that might have been an accident. He might have let that 120 off. But just that by itself, just sitting off to the side, is like really sketchy. But yeah, the key thing about this, guys, is what I want to point out is make sure you pay attention to everything. Now, I'm not saying it's Ezra's fault at all. Like, Ezra, you know, some people are just like fidgety. They're always doing stuff. They're always shuffling their hands. I've seen it all the time. Almost all Pokemon players do this. They just do a billion stuff. And it's just at that moment, he adjusts his deck. And you can see Scott waiting. He is waiting right now. And as soon as that happens, he grabs it. He's like, all right, he's busy. He is not paying attention to me. Boom, puts it down. So that's the thing about this video, is 2 things you need to know when you're playing Pokemon. And I know these are like very minimal things. And first of all, like Scott, like I said, huge dirtbag. Not only did he borrow this deck from Ezra, he cheated against him and then beat him. Because I mean, like, I don't know. You watch the video and you see it's whatever. Who cares about this match? Who cares? The thing about this video is when you're playing Pokemon, you need to pay attention to your opponent. You need to see what they're doing. Are they doing X, Y, Z? What are they doing? Like, you always need to question your hand. What are they doing? Why are they doing this? And like, not even like for cheating reasons. Like, why is he Ultra Ball? Why he discard Sycamore? Like, in Ezra's head, You gotta be like, why is the Ultra Ball Sycamore? Oh, he must have another supporter card in his hand. Why is the Ultra Ball Psychic? Oh, he has another energy in hand. These are always stuff you question while playing Pokemon. And if you're watching your opponent, you can kind of realize, you can kind of see what their moves are going to be ahead of time and stuff like that. And I think that's a big thing here. Is you always want to pay attention to your opponent. Last year we had the same situation. A guy literally picked up his discard pile and put a card in his hand. And when he did that, his opponent was not paying attention. Now this was a little bit different because the person who did the cheating was actually, it wasn't their turn, but I don't know. It's still like a thing of like keeping up with your opponent's hand count and stuff like that. Now I know sometimes it's hard to keep up with your opponent's hand size and stuff like that, but that's something you always need to remember: is how many cards in your opponent's hand and why it's in there. Like how they get 10 cards, how they get 7 cards, how they get 5. You need to make a mental note, and this was going to make somebody like a great Pokemon player. If you can realize that all the time, you're good to go. And just pay attention to your opponent. Don't worry about like adjusting your deck. You can see, like I said, the big thing here was as soon as he adjusted his attack again, he put him in there. All right. So I mean, if Verzard had not had done this, would have Scott done it? I don't know. Would he have waited a little bit longer to do it? Who knows? But yeah, guys. First of all, Scott. Like, if guys, if you're from Yu-Gi-Oh or you're from Magic and you know Scott plays it, please. Like, I don't know how to reach out to other people. I know people have already said that Scott plays Yu-Gi-Oh, and people are reaching out to Yu-Gi-Oh groups and saying, "Hey, watch out for Scott. He is a known cheater now." I hate saying that word. I hate saying somebody's cheater, but like this was done like on purpose, 100%. And yeah. So I mean, I imagine Pokemon will see this. People have already reported it to like Pokemon and stuff like that, and they're gonna watch the videos and see it happens. It's literally right there, and it's a League Cup. Like first of all, it's a League Cup. Like I mean, I guess it's something online, like, but it's not like a regionals. It's not like $5,000 online. But that's the thing to note. It's not a regionals. And some people, they're gonna be like, "Ooh, $5,000. I might do a little bit more shady stuff." So that's the thing. Now I'm not saying, like I said, this does not happen all the time. This is a very rare occurrence, and it does not happen. A lot of players have banned for cheating. Not a lot, like maybe 10 to 15, I think is what it is right now. But yeah, and that's all I want to talk about today, guys. Is you gotta watch out for cheating. It doesn't happen a lot, but the key to make sure your opponent does not cheat against you is pay attention. Just watch what your opponent's doing. Always questioning how many cards in their hand, why they have that many cards, why are they doing this, why are they doing that, and that's the big thing here. And guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I know this Wednesday's video was a little bit different, but I really want to talk about like paying attention. I see it all the time. People are like talking to their friends. Like I've seen players like turn their head sideways, talk to the person next to them while it's their opponent's turn. Now I'm not saying everybody's shady and everybody cheats, but like what are you doing? You're just given the opportunity to do that. So you need to make sure you're always paying attention. I hate to say that. I mean, it's the world we live in. It's like no matter what, like you're not gonna leave your house open and go into your neighbors with your door wide open. Like that's essentially what you're doing when you're playing Pokemon. You turn your head sideways and you're saying, "Oh, anything's free game. I'm not watching." Like that's literally what you're doing. You can do whatever you want to. So yeah, just make sure you always pay attention and always ask why. Why do they have X amount of cards? What do they do? What made their hand change? And if you can notice this, this will make you a better player for like 100% sure, because you can start predicting moves as well. Like some people are like, "Oh, they did this because of this, and you kind of like you already kind of realize that when you kind of see stuff. Like when he Ultra Ball discard Sycamore, like I said, you know he already has a Sycamore in hand, or he wouldn't have discarded Sycamore. That's obviously a really valuable resource to have. But yeah, guys, hopefully I didn't rant too long, and hopefully a lot of people don't hate on this video. But the main thing here is like, pay attention to your opponent. Always ask why. That's the two things I'm going to talk about today, or two main things I want to get out today. But guys, if you want to see this video, link will be down below. Go subscribe to Bulldoze. He's a fantastic person. Does a lot of stuff for the community, like I said, and I just got some of the contests actually. So like I said, put the Shrine, put the DC. I mean, he even grabbed the right cards. He meant to grab a Psychic Energy and a DC. He literally matches damage change, and he doesn't have the right energy. So like, what are you doing? Alright, but there we go. There's it is one more time, guys. Just want to show it one last time. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something new. Like I said, don't be too concerned. Just know, you always need to pay attention to your opponent to see what they're doing. But guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. Alrighty, bye. Alright guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.